Scientists' terrifying new discovery hidden under Sahara Desert. Get ready to have your mind blown. Did you know that the vast, arid Sahara Desert, which makes up approximately 1/3 of the African continent, was once covered with lush flora dating back thousands of years? Mind blown? Well, however, what has happened to the Sahara Desert, and what is happening to it at this time? Are there any connections between the Sahara Desert and the legendary Atlantis, the lost city? In this video, we'll examine the frightening discovery made by researchers beneath the Sahara Desert, which drove astronomers insane. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, a platform for you to drive through everything about space, science and technology. Hit the like and subscribe buttons to be a part of the family, and don't forget to press the bell icon to never miss an update. With that being said, let's begin. The African map is familiar to everybody. You can see a lot of greenery and lush flora to the south. Things do, however, alter as you travel north. It is the biggest desert in the world, encompassing many countries, and including countless kilometers of dune creation. The total area of the Sahara Desert is 9 million square kilometers, which is 18 times the size of Spain. The Atlantic Ocean borders the Sahara's west, the Red Sea in its east, the Mediterranean Sea in its north, and the Sahel Savanna in its south. 11 countries make up the enormous desert, including Algeria, Chad, Egypt, Libya, Mali, Mauritania, Morocco, Niger, Western Sahara, Sudan, and Tunisia. The Sahara Desert's dune fields are well known for their use in films. The dunes may rise to a height of 600 feet, 183 meters. However, they only occupy around 15% of the entire desert. Other geographical features include mountains, plateaus, plains covered in sand and gravel, salt flats, basins, and depressions. Previously, the Sahara was a tropical area. How did it become the harsh desert climate that it is now then? The answer to this question goes back tens of thousands of years. This Sahara has long been characterized by sporadic periods of dryness and aridity. These oscillations, which are caused by slight wobbles in the tilt of the Earth's orbital axis, alter the angle at which solar radiation enters the atmosphere regularly throughout the Earth's history. There has been more energy flowing in from the sun during the West African monsoon season. During what is known as African human periods, North Africa experiences much more rain. When the area had more rain between 8004 and 4005 years ago, more plants, rivers and lakes developed as a result. The present Sahara Desert is where the transition from humid to dry occurred far more quickly than could be explained by any orbital precession. Following a pattern in which the archaeological record indicated the presence of pastoralists, that is, humans with their domesticated animals, and a corresponding change in the types and variety of plants, archaeologist David Wright examined archaeological and environmental data primarily from sediment cores and pollen records from the same period. The fields seemed to be hopping at the same moments with people, goats, and camels. They had tried everything throughout that week, from brush to the desert. Wright concluded that they were reducing the amount of atmospheric moisture by overgrazing the grasses as a result. He believed that this may have accelerated the end of the human era more rapidly than orbital changes could have predicted. The use of fire as a land management technique by these wandering nomads may have hastened the desert's expansion. When you imagine the Sahara Desert, can you picture whales playing on the sweeping dunes? This is unlikely because whales cannot survive outside of water. However, there is proof that the cousins of the modern whale formerly swam in the sweltering African desert. In the western desert of Egypt in 1902, a party of geologists led their camels into a valley. Over thousands of years, powerful winds have shaped sandstone into strange designs. The nearby hills was known as the Mountain of Hell because of the oppressive summer heat, and the moonlight at night was so dazzling that it made the sand shine like gold. But in this arid valley, there were whale bones, some of them 50 feet long, with vertebrae as thick as bonfire logs. They found that this area and all of the northern Egypt was formerly covered by a shallow tropical sea 37 million years ago. Unbeknownst to the geologists at the time, the ancient organisms beneath the sand would soon provide a solution to one of evolution's most pressing questions: how whales became into whales. One hint was the presence of feet on these long-dead whales. Long believed to be terrestrial animals that gradually lost their forelegs as they migrated into the ocean over millions of years, whales are now recognized as aquatic mammals. Vestigial bones from the hind limbs of modern whales are evidence of this. However, little in the fossil record showed the transition before paleontologists found legs and knees in hundreds of whale fossils buried in Wadi Hitan. Footed whale fossils have been found and identified. On the other hand, Wadi Hitan's preservation is unparalleled in both quantity and quality. The valley, which can be reached from Cairo in about 3 hours, is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site and receives 14,000 people annually. Paleontologists believe that pig-like scavengers who lived close to the ocean may have been a problem for the landlubber ancestors of whales. Around 55 million years ago, they started spending more time in the water, first consuming dead fish near the breach, then going on shallow water hunts, and then diving deeper. Some of them therefore evolved traits that made swimming and hunting simpler, as they no longer had to support their full body weight at sea. They gradually became larger as a result of their rib cages and backbones lengthening. The valley has 2 different kinds of fossils. While the smaller but more powerful muscled Basilosaurus resembled a current whale, the larger Basilosaurus had an almost eel-like form. It had pig-like teeth up until it opened its mouth and showed a jawline with serrated daggers in place of them. Intriguingly, the Atacama Desert in Chile was the site of the discovery of over 275 whale skeletons. How they got up there has been a topic of debate among scientists. Most likely you've heard about Atlantis, the legendary lost city. You'll be shocked to learn the connection between this ancient city and the upcoming discovery in the Sahara Desert. This brings us to the Gulba Richat, popularly known as the Sahara's Eye. In the Sahara Desert, there is a sizable geological formation that resembles a bullseye. The building covers a 40-kilometer wide area of the Mauritania Desert. For decades, only a few local nomadic tribes were aware of the construction. It was first fired by the Gemini astronauts in the 1960s as a marker to track the development of their landing process. Later, the Landsat satellite took further pictures and provided information on the formation's size, height, and dispersion. Geologists initially believed that the Eye of the Sahara was an impact crater created when a spacecraft hit the planet. Geologists claim that the Eye of the Sahara is a geologic dome made up of rocks that are at least 100 million years old. Some date back considerably earlier than when life first appeared on Earth. These rocks include igneous volcanic deposits as well as sedimentary layers created when the wind sweeps dust and the water deposits sand and mud. Geologists may find kimberlites, carbonanites, black and rhyolites in the Eye region nowadays, in addition to other types of igneous rock. But there's another explanation for the Sahara's Eye. In the African nation of Mauritania, one can see the remains of the Rings city that Plato described in the 4th century BC. It's possible that the Atlantis metropolis was hiding all along. The search for Atlantis has gone on ever since the Greek philosopher, Plato, originally conjured up the idea of an odd island that abruptly and mysteriously vanished around 350 BC. We've been looking in all the wrong places for its location since we all assumed it had to be somewhere under the water, like the depths of the Atlantic Ocean or the Mediterranean Sea. The Sahara's Eye is the actual site of the mythical city. It is supposed that the ancient Greek politician Solon gave Plato information concerning Atlantis. There's more to it than just size and shape, according to Plato. It was circular and 23.5 kilometers wide. However, the mountains he referred to the north are readily visible in satellite photos. Plato claimed it was evidence of ancient rivers that had formerly flowed through the city. Plato's Atlantis was destroyed in a single day and night of the catastrophe and then submerged under the waves. In addition, evidence reveals that when Atlantis is claimed to have gone 11,500 years ago, the world's climate underwent a significant alteration. Satellite images in many ways reflect the aftermath. Anyone still alive has never experienced anything like the tsunami. The entire area seems to have been blasted by flowing water or a tsunami, according to the satellite map of the Sahara. The following puzzle comes from the Sahara Desert and concerns an artifact that was found there but has not yet been named. The Clayton Ring, which bears the name of a geographer and desert explorer by the name of P.A. Clayton, was found in the most difficult region of the Sahara Desert, in Egypt. The Clayton Ring's conical clay cylinders are open on both sides. They always contain one or more clay discs with perforations that are somewhat larger than the smaller aperture of the ring but do not serve as coverings. They were all produced by Potter as a compilation. Others were created from old ceramic jars and pieces. These objects were not used by the Egyptians who lived along the Nile. Instead, during Egypt's first dynasty, they were a crucial component of the gear used by nomadic herders known as the Sheikh Mufta, who resided in the northern oasis. Clayton rings and discs have been found in the oasis close to the seasonal hunting and herding locations used by this civilization, as well as in caches up to 300 kilometers away from permanent water sources and beyond any herders' or hunters' comfortable range of movement. Why would people go to such efforts to bring Clayton rings across the desert because they deemed them to be of great importance? This is a query that is still open. Comment below with your thoughts and research from the Sahara Desert. The video for today comes to an end at this point. If you found the video was helpful and informative, give it a thumbs up. To receive a notification every time we publish a new video, subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.